Today is the 19th of September and I am here. I woke up today just like every day. The past few days though, this waking up is slightly different. It's like when I wake up, my programming that says who I am and what I do and what I like and what I don't and all those things, that kind of gets downloaded in your brain every morning when you wake up, and suddenly you remember everything. Sometimes if you're very sleepy, you feel this happening in real time. Actually, you can feel the moment of like, yeah, have to go to work, just happens and you feel it when it happens. So this thing, it just doesn't happen. It's over. Good luck. It's just for the past few days though, so I'm not despairing. It might return. But for some reason the past few days I'm not getting the programming. I wake up, I'm sleepy, and I wait for the moment for the thing to happen. And then it just doesn't happen. I'm just kind of floating around and wondering, what is this? Why is everything red? Do I like red so much? I don't know. I can't quite tell the difference between red and blue. They seem the same to me. Nothing speaks to me more than the other. I don't feel anything. It's a very weird feeling. Actually, it's like the opposite. So, what do you do when this happens? What do you do when you don't want anything? It's kind of nice in a way, because I'm not so much sad or like, I'm just chill. Jesus, horrifying. Being chill. Oh my god, can you imagine being chill? I remember times that I could not even imagine being chill. And now chill is all I can do. It's insane. So the chill comes and lingers around, and I'm not used to not wanting stuff. I don't remember what I want. I don't want anything. I don't know what's going on. Wanting stuff is great. It keeps me busy. It keeps me occupied. And that's the whole point, right? To be doing something, to be going, to be, I don't know. But then this goes away. I don't even know what I want. And what do you do? What do you do when you don't know what you want, when you don't want anything? Do you have a go-to thing that you do? Or maybe it never happens to you. Maybe you always just, your download happens every morning and everything is fine. I don't know. But hey, I have a plan. I always have a plan. Not a plan necessarily, but a solution. And here's the solution I came up with this time. If I don't know what I want, I'm just gonna do stuff and see if I want them then. Right? Because sometimes you don't know you want something until after you already have done it. Until after you are already on the way trying for it. Until after you have it, even sometimes. So sometimes I just try random stuff. Totally, absolutely, totally random stuff. And then I say, It's a subtle difference. It's subtle but important. It's a subtle but big difference. Clear. To the point. That's the difference we're after. That's what we're looking for. That's what I've been looking for those days as I'm trying on different things. The most obvious thing is relaxation, right? Self-care. The cozy, as we call it. What about the cozy? Maybe that's what I want. I want cozy. I want more pumpkin spice stuff. Not enough pumpkin spice stuff. Can be a reasonable hassle, a reasonable source of tension in somebody's life, especially in September. So let's focus on the cozy, right? Let's get different types of of pumpkin spice stuff. Anything that remotely smells of vanilla, candles, pillows. Put them all in a rotation on a daily dosage. And then maybe that's what I want. Now, how this works for me is that I prepare for this cozy atmosphere. And as I prepare for it, I really want it. It really gets me. Everything pumpkin gets me. Everything vanilla gets me. Everything candlelit, soft and warm and fuzzy. I love it. I want to collect the things, put them in a rotation, curate them, surround myself with like played objects. Played. You know, the thing with the squares. Yeah, okay. But the process of putting it in together is what I love it. It's like setting up the scene for something, setting up, a scenery for a theater play. Like gathering all your toys before you start playing. It's amazing. So I want that. So that is something that definitely speaks to me. The problem begins once I have actually assembled it and it's time to start enjoying it. Then, when I sit down amongst the cozy and I'm comfortable and wrapped in plaid stuff and warm and fuzzy, my butt starts to itch. Seriously. Serious itching begins. I get the restlessness. What is it? What next? What now? We relax, yes, but am I doing the relaxation correctly? Is this how I'm supposed to be relaxing? Who is to say? Who is to decide? And also, I mean, sure, relaxing and cozy is nice, but it doesn't feel as good as it looks. That is a major issue. I think that's why I love so much setting up myself to be cozy. But then I don't really enjoy the cozy. It's very complicated. The amount of photos, images, videos I have from unbelievably cozy situations. Me in the couch watching Gilmore Girls. I don't even know how to say this thing. Okay, anyways. The cozy sitcom, whatever there is now that I can see on Netflix. It looks fantastic, but it's not really attached to memories of fantastic. It's like vacations for some people. You have amazing photos from amazing moments, and then you only remember the fights you had after the photo was taken or something. It's not quite right. So, sure, building my living room or making teas kept me occupied for a little bit, but then it was over and that was not quite the thing. But the key when this happens, the key when you don't know what you want, when you have a hard time finding, is to just keep it random. Because the further away from logic, you are casting a wide net. That's key. So I tried sailing again. There's a lot of sailing around me because I am in Sweden, so there's a lot of sailing going on. There's a lot of sailing in my life, in my house, because my partner sails and loves sailing. So you can probably see even where I am right now, like the heat the massive hit that the decoration in this house has taken from my partner's hobbies. For the ones that can see, is really heartbreaking. We see ropes around the house in various locations. In our previous house, we had them on top of the bed. That talk about sending the wrong message. Now we put it over the radiator. That's a little bit more neutral. That's a bit more family friendly. And then, of course, you have the sheep, the Fragata siglo, and various other objects that just happen to not be in this corner. I wanna make a very important point. This is for those that cannot see, that are only listening. Yes, there is a rope, and the boat here where I'm sitting, a small boat, like a doll house, like a Polly Pocket boat. I don't know how to describe it exactly. Yes, there are here. They're visible. And no, they're not curated. This is not a curated corner. This is not the boat corner. This, and it pains me to say that, is a random corner. This is a random corner, which will safely, from that, one can assume that if somebody were to turn the camera and get a different corner, there's a high chance they would fall over some type of plant that is also safe to say, and something else that resembles some type of sailing memorabilia slash souvenir slash functional turned decorative object. That would be reasonable to assume. I'm not saying that this is right or that this is wrong. I like to be mysterious. However, I acknowledge it, that yes, this would be reasonable to assume. I would assume the same as well. So, lots of sailing, right? Not so random. It's around. But for me it is random, because it couldn't be any further from my presumed interests, hobbies, talents, may I say. You know, the things around sailing that are against my very essence as a person have no end. Like, where can I begin? To the fact that I am not athletic at all, and I mean at all, and not only am I not athletic, because some people are not athletic, but they are endurant, right? I am not athletic, and also I'm extremely squeezy, as I like to say. I don't know if that is generally used so much, or if I just use it. Squeezy. Meaning, you know, I'm walking on the street, suddenly I go, ouch, what happened? I hit my ankle. How? Nobody knows. Was there something in the pavement? No, there was nothing. I just injured myself by walking. You know, I get burned in situations where nobody else gets burned. I get all the mosquitoes that are around, thus protecting the other people around from those mosquitoes. Very convenient. I'm not like a disciplined person that could be in the military and could potentially survive in the wilderness. And, you know, I don't have it. I wish I had it. I love it. I love to see it in others. I think it's fantastic. You know, those people that are always a little bit tan, that are practical, that can do things with their hands. It's just nothing. I have issues with the concept of discipline. Everything you tell me not to do, I want to do it immediately. I don't do it. I don't say I'm not an asshole. I don't do the opposite of what people tell me. I'm not saying this. I'm just saying I want to. Okay? When you tell me to not do something, I want to do the thing right away. Don't jump to action, but just for a second, just for a split second. I question things a lot. like every time people tell me to do stuff for my own personal safety, for a second I'm gonna go like, what's the game here? What's your angle? What are we? I don't just put on your life vest. Yeah, but will I have to pay for it afterwards? Just put on your life vest. You're gonna die. We're going down. Like, I don't quite. Yeah, this thing with just doing as I'm told and understanding, and no, this is hard. So discipline is hard. Being endurant is hard. Surviving. What else? I don't swim. I can't really swim. I can't swim, but not like a person. I swim like a dog. I do a series of seemingly random, uncalculated, and desperate moves underwater that are just enough for me to keep my head afloat. That's my swimming style. It's the dog style. With all of those things together, I don't think sailing is my thing. I don't think it could be my thing or should be my thing for that matter. However, that's the thing we're looking for, right? Because if I like it, if I want it, then that's gonna keep me busy for a while. Because I'm gonna have to spend so much time learning how to do it and this and that. I've tried already sailing once, but that was a horrible experience, but for a whole different set of reasons, which should be its own episode or series of episodes sometime in the future. That's a different story. But now, I could do something small, right? A fast, quick test, just to see if I like it and if I want it. So I joined the sailing event, an evening, with my partner, and went there, jumped on the ship, beautiful, very, very old ship, no idea how old, but takes about a million crowns to maintain it every year. It's about 100,000 euros just to maintain the ship, just to keep it afloat. A lot of tape, gaffer's tape on the ship, so I'm not sure what they're doing with all that money. It's a very old, very important historically shape. It looks beautiful from far away, not so beautiful up close. That's the thing with those old ships. You see it from as you park deep inside in its little harbor, you see it and it's like, wow, oh my God, what is this? The white sails, the beautiful wood details, all the ropes, it looks like this beautiful, it looks like a sculpture. It looks like it just jumped out of a painting. It's amazing. And then the closer you go, it just looks worse and worse and worse. Until in the end of the day, you go inside the ship, and that is just depressing. This is the kitchen of a boat is one of the ugliest places I have been in my entire life. It's unbelievable. Everything is rusty, everything is dirty, it has tapes and other weird improvised ways of keeping things together. It's like ropes everywhere thrown around in awkward situations, in bad piles. It's almost like the ship has died, and what we see is its insides but are just poured out and laid on the floors for everybody to admire. The rope is like pieces of intestine, just everywhere. It's horrific, really. And of course, the occasional gaffer tape, the occasional awkward messages written with marker. Because of course, you can't use a post-it on a boat. It's gonna be washed away. So you just use a marker. You write there your phone number, a message to the next person, the list for the supermarket. Like the things that I've seen with markers are written with marker on the ship is ridiculous. Part of the ship's history, I suppose. You're on this ugly ship. I'm feeling like maybe that's the thing, because I'm happy to be on the sea. Not inside it so much, but like on it is nice. And another nice thing for me also is the possibility to test a little bit my ground, my limits with Swedish, because I'm supposed to speak Swedish, but I don't. But I should, but I don't. But like on paper, I have graduated high school. On paper, I'm like, I'm ready I'm ready to teach the language. But in reality, I don't think I am that good really. And every time I overestimate my abilities, every time I say, I'm gonna get it this time, I can go through this dialogue, I can understand the instructions in Swedish, I don't need to switch the website. And it never ends well. Never. This time, they gathered us, everybody on the ship, to give us the instructions. Safety instructions, fun little anecdotes, and other things. And it was in Swedish, and I thought, well, I got it. Of course I do. I'm here, let's go. Word by word, I'm gonna get everything. And I did. But I think some details might have gotten a little bit lost in the translation. Given that I understood that we were going to Frankfurt and we were going to be there in 36 hours. That is not what happened, of course. But I was pretty concerned there for like a minute or so. I heard that there is 8 policemen among us. Now that sounded a lot. 8 policemen is a lot for any place, besides maybe the police station. And there was another issue, which was that there was 8 of us, meaning that for the statement to be true, we would all have to be policemen and policewomen. And we were not. And I know this for certainty because I myself am not a policewoman and I am included in the numbers of the counting. So that was not accurate either. They might have said something like policemen and not policemen. I think that is where the misunderstanding happened. I also heard that when we hear the bell ring, we have to grab the guy who rang the bell and then put him where we are right now, and then everybody jumps overboard. Which sounds very fun, but also a little bit of a safety hazard, so I don't believe they would do that. They do a lot of weird things, allegedly, sailing people. They sing all slightly ridiculous and awkward songs, call ships with a she, her pronouns. I heard something about a skipper. And if I understood correctly, this is the captain's dog. This was the captain's dog. But he named it after himself, which makes a ton of sense, of course. Oh yeah, and there was something about going to the bathroom, that you have to open and close the door several times, quickly and with force, for the bathroom to work. Now, I suppose that was also a misunderstanding, and maybe it had something to do with the pump. That must have been the crucial point of the misinterpretation. So this didn't go that well. But I decided to not follow through with all the rules that I thought I heard and keep a low profile, follow the group a little bit and everything. And to see if I enjoyed it. No surprise there. I just remembered all of the things that I don't like so much about sailing. It's unbelievable. Like, I like it so little that I want to do it. I mean, there is something very painful about meeting strangers and having small talk with strangers, of course. I mean, that is the biggest, I think, safety hazard on a ship. It's the awkward discussions. Because, I mean, I'm not saying that any sane person would jump in the water to avoid it, But I'm just saying that at the moment when you are in it, it feels like a much more attractive turn of events. But then I was looking at the moon on the shape, and then I remembered that I saw a TikTok that was saying about this eclipse that's happening, that's gonna turn us all crazy or something. And then I thought, oh my God, maybe that's it. Maybe that's why I can't download myself in the morning, because of this eclipse. But then I remembered this other TikTok that I saw. I got a lot of TikToks about the eclipse on my feed. And I was that close to, believing in it and getting in it and becoming like a eclipse, zodiac sign type of person. I was very close. But it's like always, I'm that close to getting it, but then something happens and I just don't. I was almost there to blame the eclipse for my, weird mood lately. That close. And then I got this other TikTok where this girl was telling me, actually it started with a question that was very much to the point. She asked, have you gotten your period early or late in those days? And I was like, yes. How did you know? I mean, I get it that TikTok knows everything. My phone knows everything. But how do you know? How did you know to make it to begin with? How did you know? And she says, well, it's the eclipse. Of course it's the eclipse. I am so with her at this point. It's honestly unbelievable. But then she continues, right? And she says, that means that you are a super powerful red witch. If you get it on the new moon, you're a white witch. I'm like, okay, got it. Red, white. But then she continues. If you get it in between, we have pink and we have purple. I'm like, okay, wow, now it's getting too much. I was with you about the red, I could push it to the white, but now suddenly everybody is a witch? Like, where do I have to bleed to be a civilian? Can I not be a civilian as long as I have the period? And you know what? What about when you stop having your period? I have a hard time to believe that this has anything to do. Like, if you stop having your period, you're older, you're wiser, that's when you actually should be most likely to be a witch, right? That makes much more sense. An old witch is a stereotype. And it fits. It comes with a wisdom, it comes with a bitterness. All those things just kind of come together and they morph this. I don't think you can be a witch at all when you are in this reproductive time. Maybe a magician. Maybe you can pull a rabbit out of a hat or something. By getting all those small things, I'm getting the little pieces of myself and I piece them together and I'm really getting somewhere, That I want some stuff still, which is good, right? Like, I want to be cozy. That's a start, right? I want to be setting the scenery together. And I want to be complaining about sailing, which I don't like doing, but still end up doing anyways. So that's really nice too. This is gonna keep me busy for a good decade for sure. And then I remembered about this podcast because I was on the ship and I had this need to hijack it and go away, and I thought, oh my God, what if we sail to Scotland? I would love to be in Scotland again, and I would love to sail somewhere on a Dutch ship because I've heard that those are amazing. And I got this feeling that like my world sometimes gets a little bit small, and I don't like this. I like to feel how big the world is. And that's part of the reason why I moved abroad. And because I'm from Greece, but I'm not in Greece anymore. And then I decided to work more in English and do videos in English because again, I like to feel how big the world is, right? Now I feel it. Like, I don't know who's gonna watch this video and from where, and that is just so fascinating to me. I feel like a tiny, tiny little piece of dust on a huge thing. While when I am walking on the street in Stockholm, I feel like a mediocrely sized piece of dust on a big wooden plane. Like it's sizable and it's boring. When I forget what I wanted to say, as I'm saying it, I know it's time to end this episode. So thank you so much for listening to this, if you did. And thank you so much for listening to it and for listening to all the previous episodes and all the next ones, and for, telling me what it is that you want by commenting right now and telling me what is something that you want, because if it sounds good, maybe I will steal it and then I will want it too, and you will get me out of this situation, which would be fantastic. And for sharing it also with your friends, so that then you can talk about it and you have something extra to talk about and bond over. And for being here next week again, also when I will post the next episode. I will remember it. I will use a marker, not a post-it, a marker. That's how you do it. Thank you so much and good night. Bye bye.